What do I wear? How do I act? How do I mingle with the people? Do I mingle with the people? How do I compare with a king? On the other hand, if I'm too monarchical or kingly, then the people are going to just dump me over and the whole government will collapse. Being president would not have been fun during this time period because there's no model.
I walk on untrodden ground. There is scarcely any part of my conduct which may not hereafter be drawn into precedent.
It's a nasty place to be, and he was a perfect man to be in that position because he was so conscious about his own reputation, of how he appeared. He became really good at cultivating this kind of a thing. He would, for instance, walk up a long stairway into a building, and he would pause, sort of allow the crowd to get a glance and then go into the building. So he became, I think, really skilled at being on stage in the way that he felt Americans needed to see him.
He has levees once a week in which people are invited in, and he greets the people very stiffly and in a formal manner. He bows to them. He doesn't shake their hand, but nevertheless he is letting the people in.
Dressed in a black velvet suit and donning an ornamental sword, the soft-spoken farmer from Virginia soon became the toast of Manhattan. But even as the president entertained adoring well-wishers, he was occupied with the many problems confronting America. The nation's Revolutionary War debts continued to pile up. British troops remained encamped along the western frontier. And 4 million citizens, spread out over 865,000 square miles, looked to an unproven government for guidance.
The Revolutionary era creates enormous pressures. It's a great crisis. It's, in fact, the greatest crisis in American history, even greater than the Civil War. And one thing we know about political leadership is that real political leadership can only emerge in a crisis.
If the nation was to survive its early trials and tribulations, George Washington must surround himself with men who possessed character and vision, the same men who had devoted their lives to America's independence.
Eventually, we will become a government of laws, but we have to first be a government of men, and those are the men.
When George Washington was elected as the first president of the United States, he inherited a country in desperate need of economic stability at home and legitimacy abroad. If the American experiment was to survive, Washington must call upon the experience and wisdom of his revolutionary brethren.
I feel in the execution of the duties of my arduous office how much I shall stand in need of the countenance and aid of every friend to myself, of every friend to the Revolution, and of every lover of good government.